we go. Hi guys, Steph Felton here once again with another play review. This isn't actually the play, it's just a piece of paper with some notes I've made. So, I have got the play down here. But before I mention the play, I'm afraid I must make a public apology. If anybody has actually turned around and seen the other video I did yesterday of a play review of Curtain Up a Murder, I do happen to mention quite a bit of the storyline, and if you haven't read the play or seen the play and you really want to, I'm terribly sorry if I have given the storyline away. But for people that just want to know what it's about, then, you know. But, you know, so I will hopefully try and announce in the future that there may be some spoiler alerts in the plays. Anyway, on to the main feature of our programme, of our episode. Pretty much today's play is Jim Cartwright's play, simply entitled Road. And if you can see in the corner there, right in the corner, it tells you what decade this was set in, and it's set in the 1980s. I haven't read the whole of the play. I did get up to a point, but I would love to get back to reading it again, or reading the rest of it, because it's a really good play. I've actually done this play before, but I didn't do the whole play. At my college, because I'm on a performing arts qualification course, if you want to know more about that, click on my video called A Blog to Say Hello. Pretty much we did extracts from it for a drama showcase, so pretty much you take an extract, basically you take a scene and you act it out. and my group did extracts from this play when we were studying Stanislavski and naturalism at college, and that was back in November of 2012, and that was a really good evening when we did it. Right. I will have to warn you, what I am about to tell you about the storyline is spoilers. Spoiler alert. Anyway, the play happens to be based round about the 80s, but it's set in Lancashire in the 1980s, round about the time of the miners' strike, when Thatcher's government ruled Britain, and unfortunately it was great for the southern side, for down south in England, but for up north in England the effects were quite bad. You know, when the mines were shut down, pretty much mining communities just stopped happening, because basically the mines, people who used to work in the mines, if there were no mines there were no jobs, so then they weren't able to earn money, and so they couldn't go to their little mining community shop and buy food for their family, and they couldn't, you know, send their kids to the school, that sort of thing. Because, you know, if you want to know more about the miners' strike of the 1980s, you can look it up on the internet, you know. But the fact is, I don't know. I did a little bit of research on it for this project that we did for the drama showcase, but I didn't do loads and also I don't know a lot because I was actually literally born several years after the mine strike. That was in the 80s. I was born in the early 90s. Anyway, you have characters, and they all have different situations, and pretty much the staging of it, I've seen pictures of professional performances of this, and literally they're all on a stage dotted about, and then the spotlight will go to each scene, and literally something else has happened. Like, everybody's getting ready, they're all going out for the night, or they're all doing something, and it's all happening at one time, and then their storylines come together. So you have people like, you know, you have Scullery, who's a character that wanders around, who is pretty much like a character to kind of fill in scenes of a storyteller. And, you know, also you have people like Joel and Claire, who are a couple who are in love and unfortunately end up killing themselves from starvation because they are protesting against, you know, stuff that's going on, I guess, life in general. There's one scene that I did with my friend at college, which was, we did Brenda and Carol's scene, and Brenda I played, and my friend played Carol, and pretty much they're talking about going out. Like Brenda's going to go out, and Carol wants to go out, and Brenda, who's the mum, is asking her daughter for money. So instead of the daughter asking for money, the mum's asking for money. So it's like, you know, role reversal somehow. Pretty much, I think this is a really good play, and it gives people an insight to what it was like, you know, living in the time of the miners' strike. And back then there was a recession, you know, like there is in the UK at the moment, in the present time of 2013. You can't even tell when we're in a recession or out of one. So, you know. So also this is probably a good play for people to look at if they are if they are in high school or whatever, studying social studies or something like that, or history, and they're studying about the miners' strike of the 80s, instead of just being taught the facts or just going through, you know, a lesson of thinking, oh my god, this is such a boring subject. Read this play. You will feel the characters' needs and wants and emotions, and it'll give you an understanding of how it actually, what it felt like. The fact that you didn't have much money, you couldn't go out, there wasn't much to do because of everything closing down. So, yeah, and this is brilliant. And the one scene I love, which is at the one thing I like about this play is there's actually bits at the beginning of the play that happen before the actual play starts. So there's a scene that goes on before, or pre-show, that goes on before the play. And it's happening whilst the audience are making their way through the bar or wherever into the theatre and into their seats. You know. And so you go on. But there's one scene I absolutely love that I will go to. It's at the back. It's near the end of the play. So I'm trying to find it. There's monologues, but the best thing of all, there's a chant that definitely makes sense in this situation. Like you could associate to now, because those people are in wars and they're in crises themselves. Pretty much the chant is, you know, it's after Louise has made a big monologue. She says, if I keep shouting, once again this is quoted from the play, if I keep shouting out a somehow, I might escape. So then Eddie says, somehow, might escape. And then he says it again, and then Brink joins in, and then Brink and Eddie together, and then Louise, and then Eddie, Brink and Louise say it together, then Carol joins in, and then they all do it together, and then it just builds up and builds up and builds up until they shout, somehow! Which in some way you could say, if you're in a crisis or something's happening, you're in a war zone or something, and you think to yourself, somehow, I will escape. I will escape my problem, you know. I will escape something. And I think if you go over that chant, for whatever situation, like if you're overcoming a fear or something like that, just go, somehow might escape. Because you're thinking, somehow, if I do something, somehow, I might be able to escape from it. Like saying here, somehow, like, if the miners, if they reopen the mine somehow, the people might escape their problems of unemployment. So, but it's just a fantastic scene, and I've seen that done on stage, and the fact they stand up and they go, somehow, summer might escape. And then it builds up a somehow, summer might escape. And they just keep chanting it until there's a massive somehow. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And it's a wonderful, brilliant scene. It's powerful, really, really powerful. The whole of it. Anyway. So anyway, and actually, as this is set in Lancashire, sort of near Yorkshire, but Lancashire, they do have terms that are very different to people who are from the south of England, or people that aren't from England, and they hear these words and think, hang on a minute, this isn't what like London people speak, you know, because not everybody from England comes from London. I will state that now. I'm English and I'm from Essex. Yes, so actually it has a glossary, if you can see that, on the back of all the northern terms, sort of like Yorkshire, Lancashire terms. So I'll read one for you, or a couple for you. So, summit, which is spelled SUMMAT, summit, which means something. So instead of saying something like, something funny's going on here, you could say, something's funny going on around here. Sorry, I'll try and do the accent, I'll try and do Yorkshire accent. So pretty much, instead of saying something like, you're hiding something, aren't you? You could say, you're hiding something, aren't you? Out, pretty much spelled OWT, is anything. Like, you could have the song, I do anything. I do anything for you, dear. Anything. If it was done up Lancashire, it'd be, I do out for you. I do out. Or something odd like that. Nothing is nout. So if you said something like, I did nothing, miss, you could say, I did nout, miss. You know, I don't know why that came out cockney. But, you know. Please excuse me. But they have like words like snog, passionate kiss, we all know that. And they've got tab, which is cigarette. Knacked, which is exhausted. So like saying knackered. Or another one they like to say up north sometimes is shagged. I'm shagged. Yeah. Pretty much one-armed combat is unarmed combat, so no weapons. Butty, sandwich. Jack on, erection. So this is probably going to get really censored, so when I go erection, there's just going to be a great big second. If it was done in America, it'd be a great big sticker going, censored. Skrike, I think that's SKRIKA. If anyone's from Lancashire, if anyone can give me the pronunciation, that'd be fantastic. But that means cry. And whom, pretty much is about WHOME, home. So, at least in some way, if you don't understand what they're saying, at least you can actually, so if you're reading the poem, it's like, what does that mean? You can turn to the back and be like, oh, that's what it means. So like if they say, something funny's going on here, be like, what's something? You can go to the back of the play and you can find out what it means. Oh, something. You know. So anyway, I think this is a really good play for people to read or to act out. So, you know. I got this, I can't remember, I think I got this from Amazon. My mum ordered it for me from Amazon because I haven't got my own Amazon account. You know, because I was studying it and I wanted a copy of my own. Even though I got a photocopy script of the scene I was in, but I wanted a copy of my own. So, yeah. Anyway, back to my notes. Future play reviews. There's 2 plays I'm hoping to review in the future. I've just got to track them down somehow in my house, because in my house, seriously, if you pass stuff on top of it, forget it, you're not going to find it. It just swallows stuff up. So the two plays I'm hoping to do will be Our Day Out by Willie Russell and Hard to Swallow by Mark Wheeler. So anyway, that's that done. Once again, I am terribly sorry if this has been a bit of a spoiler for you and you think, oh, stuff the play, I'm not going to read it anymore because you spoiled it. You know, at least it gives you an idea of what happens in the play. So, yeah. Anyway, so don't forget to subscribe so you get to watch more wonderful videos. If you have got questions, you know, don't hesitate to ask me, as long as they're clean and polite, you know, because everyone likes curiosity, but, you know, curiosity didn't kill the cat. It's nasty messages that do. So, anyway, I've been Steph Felton. This has been Road by Jim Cartwright. And remember, stay dramatic.